All right, we come to the point in the show where we reveal where it's at. You know, we've been showing you pieces and parts spread across the past 20 minutes or so. We've seen your guesses. No, it's not victory. Last week, Chi sent us a text message with these pictures. A white 5-span bridge. He said, crossing the Boise River, looks Art Deco-ish. Fairview Bridge, Chi called it. Very beautiful and long for the time. Said it was designed and built by MK, Morrison Knudsen. And he's right about most of that. That is a picture, and those are pictures of Fairview Bridge, the one used to get into Boise instead of using the connector. And it is a 5-span bridge, and it was built in 1932. Its length of 378 feet is pretty long, even for that day. It was posted to the National Register of Historic Places in 1990. But it wasn't built by Morrison Knudsen. However, saying that name and then calling out the bridge's beauty did make us think of another Boise bridge that was built by MK. About a mile or so upriver spans the Capitol Boulevard Memorial Bridge, or where it's at today. It was built a year before the Fairview Bridge was built and was supposed to be the final piece of a grand entrance into the capital city. It was also called the Oregon Trail Memorial Bridge at first when it was first built, a tribute to the pioneers who made their way through Boise and apparently crossed the river at this point. But the account of its construction was a pretty good tale as well. There was a plan, there was a denial of that plan, and there was the kick-in of some federal cash, and the job got done in record time. The idea was to build Boise's Grand Boulevard, a park-like approach to the state capitol for visitors dropped off at the train depot. And to build it, well, they needed a bridge over the river. But when they brought a construction bond to Boise voters in 1927, they said no. Getting the U.S. Bureau of Public Roads involved gave them the green light. And that set local engineering firm Morrison Knudsen in motion. They took Charles Kyle's Art Deco design and hired 100 men to make it happen. Starting with the first pour of concrete on February 20th, 1931, those 100 men worked every day for 16 hours a day, according to the Idaho Statesman, and finished the 4 arches by April 18th. The floor 11 days later, just 68 days after they started. In May of that year, just before it was open to traffic, the Idaho Statesman wrote, 6 months ago, a dream. Today, a completed structure. Well, kind of. All that was left were the handrails, the artwork, and a general polishing to be put on it, and the Oregon Trail Memorial Bridge was done, 60 days ahead of schedule. It was dedicated that September, Tuesday the 15th, 1931. And as the reporter put it, the bridge and the boulevard form an approach to the city which is unequaled for stark beauty and simple grandeur by any bit of man-made highway in the West. It was built before the Golden Gate Bridge, by the way. The 4-lane Capitol Boulevard Memorial Bridge is 310 feet long and hasn't really changed much over the years, other than the deck being redone in 1987 and the whole bridge getting a makeover in 2013, just in time for this city's sesquicentennial celebration. It was also added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1990.